I'm here with Barry Kemp, who's the director of the Amarna Project and the Amarna Trust, and a professor at Cambridge University in England.
Now retired.
Now retired, okay. You've been doing it since 1977. Have you been working at the Amarna site since that time?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
That's you. First of all, maybe you can just tell us about the Amarna Project, a layman's view of the Amarna Project and what you're trying to do for the average Egyptology fan.
Amarna has two things going for it. One is that it is the place that Akhenaten chose to be the new home for his god, the Aten, and so the place he created tells you quite a lot about what was in his mind. So if you're interested in Akhenaten and his religious ideas, it's the place to go to find out more about them. So that's one side of why Amarna is important. The other is that it is the only place in Egypt where you can actually go and see an Egyptian city laid out and accessible on the desert or anywhere. And so it has there's a unique opportunity there to find out about what Egyptian cities were like, the life of the people life of the people who lived there, and you can do that in a way independently of Akhenaten, and that is why I went in the first place.
What sparked your passion in this area of all the areas of Egyptology to specialize in? How did you come to have a passion for working on this? Or did it
I became interested in my early days in the subject in Egyptian society, and I felt that the archaeology had not been sufficiently exploited, and realized after looking around that Amarna was the best place that you could go to explore that subject further through archaeology. The subject had, and still is, studied very much through written sources, but archaeology has a special aspect to, a special contribution to make.
Well, let's talk about the exciting recent discoveries at Amarna and more reasons for people to be interested in coming to the area, because you've been doing a lot of work. I know you specifically work on the South Tombs, where a lot of the common people have lived.
Yes, until it was about 2005, none of us knew where the ordinary people of Amarna were buried. Although the city had a short life, it supported a population of several tens of thousands of people, and within that short space of time, you can estimate, you can guess, you can be pretty sure that many thousands would have died and been buried. And there's never been any sign of a cemetery. People had looked for one. I had turned the matter over in my mind often enough, and there never seemed to be an answer. And through a very careful desert survey that one of the team undertook over a number of years, using differential GPS equipment to create a new contour map of the desert. Through that work, we realized that there were in fact not one but several cemeteries of the ordinary people, almost inconspicuous. And in 2006, we started an excavation at what appeared to be the largest and best preserved. The reason why they were inconspicuous is that they had all been robbed, but the people had been buried with very few objects, and so the only traces on the surface were a few weathered potsherds and some human bones, but not material from structures or material that would encourage modern tomb robbers to get excited. And so this cemetery in particular remained untouched since the initial robbery took place, probably shortly after the Amarna period. But at the same time that we excavate and survey, we also do repairs to those buildings which are on the tourist route. And in the last few years we've been concentrating on the North Palace and making that more intelligible.
Oh, so tell us about, is the North Palace one of the highlights of the site right now?
Yes.
Is that where excuse my pronunciation, Mary Rutan's bathroom?
Yes, that's right, yes. It was first excavated, the building was excavated in 1923 and 1924 by the Egypt Exploration Society, and then just left open, and it steadily deteriorated. It now has a barbed wire fence around it, which was put there by the Egyptian Antiquities Authority in 1984, and for something like 10, 12 years we have spent a month each year doing cleaning and doing repairs to the brickwork, and a lot of the rear part of the palace is now very clearly visible from cleaning, from remaking the walls, doing Meritaten's bathroom. The palace was built of sun-dried mud brick, which is quite fragile, and our own bricks, when we put them back in, are also made of the same material, and it's intrinsic, it's inherently weak. I say this because when tourists go there, the purpose of the barbed wire fence is also to keep them out, because tourists do have a tendency to climb onto walls to take the best photographs, and that breaks the walls up. So at the moment they too stand outside, but you can see most of what we've done is much better looking than it was before.
What is the one most exciting, or one or two most exciting things to view at Amarna for people visiting?
I would say the tombs. There are 25 rock tombs which are partially decorated. They have iron doors on and are locked, but are looked after by local custodians who have the keys, and you will find in some of the tombs a detailed pictorial record of Akhenaten's court and the life of the court, pictures of people in the city. It's a key source for Akhenaten himself. So that is at the top of the list, and then the North Palace, and then if you have time, go into the central city, and the small Aten temple is there to be inspected, and not far from there is one of the houses of an official that we've done some repairs at. You climb up a platform and look down into it. It's an artificial platform so that you can take your photographs and not actually climb on the walls. So if you did all of those things, tombs, North Palace, central city, and that particular house that's not far away, you would have got a good visual summary of the city, plus an extra half hour's drive takes you out to the royal tomb.